Hello. Hello. Welcome to EIT Open Days event organized by EIT Energy and EIT Energy Turkey office. My name is Bashar Kaya, and I am the founding country manager of EIT Energy Hub Turkey. And for the opening speech, I would like to talk about what we have done so far in Turkey as Energy Turkey office. Actually, we established Energy's Turkey office in September 2017 in order to take Energy's know-how and network into Turkish innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem, so that we create a channel for energy-related Turkish companies and startups to help them open up global markets and find them new business opportunities in Europe. During the 5 years period, we worked so hard to create brand awarenesses for energy and for EIT as well, and we try to make it as much as recognized countrywide in Turkey. So if you wanna know more about energy Turkey office activities, and if you would like to hear about more about our services, please do not forget to check our blog page. You will find the link on the chat site as well. And also, we organized a Power Up Startup competition that is one of the biggest energy-related startup event in Europe. And we organized Power Up Startup competitions Turkey country final in 2018, 19, and 2020 in Turkey. And during these three events, we reached more than 200 energy-related startups in Turkey and support 30 of them with boot camps and mentorships. And also we took the winner of each Power Up Turkey final event to the grand finals and give them a chance to reach global business areas and networks in the Europe. And also as Hub Turkey Energy office, Energy's Hub Turkey office, sorry, we run two different accelerator program batches in Turkey. And first one was focused on idea stage entrepreneurs, and the second one was focused on the deep tech entrepreneurs. During that two programs, we received more than 100, we collect more than 100 business idea application, and also we support more than 20 of them with trainings, mentorship, investor relations, and business model generation workshops as well. Beside our activities on entrepreneurship and accelerator program site, we have been also working with the corporates very closely, and we have been helping Turkey-based corporates and companies who are looking for innovative solutions for their energy-related needs, and we have been matching them with Energy's portfolio companies. Since the first day of our office, we matched more than 30 Turkey-based corporates with Energy's assets, and that amount is increasing day by day, actually. And those matchmaking activities also help Energy's assets to expand their operation in Turkish market, and thanks to our help and contribution and our operation on business development and sales side, Energy's portfolio companies have been running quite good relations with Turkey-based corporates, selling their technologies to the market, establishing new partnership, and also they are participating some local tenders as well. I also talk about some success stories as we reach in Turkey. As a part of our office studies, actually, we have been also working and looking for some promising startups for our VC team to invest them. In 2019, we came across a quite good startup. Its name was Duct, and they have been developing quite unique and innovative solutions for mobility sector. In 2020, Energy decided to invest in Duct, and Energy support Duct till 2022. And beginning of this year, duct was acquired by Acton, and Energy made its first exit in Turkey. Today also you will hear about duct's story, and you will listen one of co-founders of duct today. I am more than happy and excited for organizing this event in Turkey, and totally proud of have all those precious speakers today. I'm really curious about and impatient to hear what other EIT colleagues bring in their packs for my country and my entrepreneurship ecosystem. Thanks for your time in advance. I hope to see you again.
Thank you, Bashar. Now I want to also have Piotr to say something at the beginning. So let me just add you to stream. Hi, Piotr. Welcome.
Hi, Taslim. So thank you very much for organizing this event on our behalf. I represent EIT Energy, and I'm more than happy to be there, because Turkey for a long time for our company, for Energy, is really a crucial market. It's one of the fastest growing innovation markets here in Europe. And we're really looking with much attention and much care to what is happening here. Bashar has just described what is already done here on the market, but we are not stopping here. We are still looking for new solutions for developing market of Turkey, but not only. It's because it's part of the ecosystem, of the whole European ecosystem, and we want as much as possible to integrate it. So my colleague Fruzina will later on present in more detail what we can offer as Energy to the Turkish ecosystem. But I'm just let me say in a few words that for us this is a very important market. We are one of the biggest players in energy innovation system in the world, which you will also learn in more detail when Fruzina will present it. But I think that the event that we organize here, and once more thank you for coming to it, is that this is really important and crucial market for Europe. So I don't want to prolong it any longer, because there are a lot of presentations and a lot of interesting things that you will learn during this event. So just thanking you once more, I give back floor to Ashley for the next to present next speakers.
Thank you so much, Piotr. Yes, first of all, hi everyone, welcome. I'm Aslı from EIT Energy Hub Turkey. And now our next session is National R&I Priorities for Turkey and Role of EIT. So Horizon Europe Cluster 5 Climate, Energy and Mobility National Contact Point of TÜBİTAK. Hanife Tuzcuoğlu will join us now. Hi, Hanife Hanım.
Hi, Aslı Hanım. Thank you very much. And good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Hanife, and I'm working as a scientific programs expert in TÜBİTAK. And I'm also the national contact point, as Aslı told us, on climate, energy, and mobility cluster of Horizon Europe program. In short, we say Cluster 5. And I'm working especially in the field of energy-related core topics on Horizon Europe, I can say. First, before starting to my presentation, I would like to thank you for allowing me to present at such an important event. In the past weeks, I got to know the EIT Energy ecosystem closely during the Business Booster event, and thanks to the invitation to the Turkey Hub. It is a very dynamic and interactive ecosystem indeed, and it is impossible to not be a fan, I can say. For this reason, I would like to thank Turkey or Turkey Hub again for its invitation. As you may know, we adopt our official name to Turkey. It's hard to say, but you get used to it. Next slide, please, Aslanım. Here you can see the overall scope of my presentation. First of all, I will talk about who we are for our participants who are not familiar with TÜBİTAK. And then after explaining the EU framework programs in general context, I will try to talk about its relation with TÜBİTAK. And after that, I'm going to talk about the list of the EU framework programs, the Horizon Europe program, and its EU policy priorities. Then in the light of this information, I'm going to mention two projects that can serve as an example for SMEs, who are the backbones of the EIT structure and also for the Horizon Europe program. Finally, I will finish my presentation by presenting the TÜBİTAK's support and award programs. We can move on to the next slide, Aslanım. So let's begin with TÜBİTAK. First, I would like to give you a small introductory presentation about us, so who we are. TÜBİTAK means the Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey, and we are the leading agency for management, funding, and conduct of research in Turkey. And we are established in 1963, so we have more than 50 years of experience. If you want to have a look at our main areas of activities, so we are performing science and technology and innovation research and policies. We are providing support and funding for scientific, technological, and innovative research undertaken by universities, industries, and as well private and public sectors. We are contributing to the advancement of the science and technology and innovation infrastructures in Turkey. And of course, we are establishing and managing international collaborations by multilateral and bilateral agreements. Next slide, please. TÜBİTAK carries out its research and technology and innovation activities by its institutes and research center found in the different points of Turkey. The most important one is Gebze R&D campus. So we have 6 different institutions in this campus, and the largest and most well-known is Marmara Research Center. In short, is TÜBİTAK MAN. Next slide, please. And TÜBİTAK represents Turkey abroad and coordinates bilateral and multilateral scientific and technological collaboration. These activities are carried out with the International Cooperation Department of TÜBİTAK. We have 2 different units under this department. One is the Bilateral and Multilateral Relations Division, and other is EU Framework Programs Division. In addition to this, we have also support and award units. Today, I'm going to tell you about these last 2 parts later in my presentation today. We can move on to the next slide. So now let's move on to the topic that is the main reason for our meeting here today, the EU Framework Program. Of course, this program is defined as the EU's main funding program for research and innovation, and even as we mentioned here, the world's largest, biggest civilian R&D and innovation program. So what does it aim for? To support scientific research, technological development, and innovation activities, to ensure social and economic development, to reinforce research and technology development capacity, to promote university and industry cooperation, and to empower cooperation in different areas related to EU policies, of course. Next slide, please. So now, if you wish, let's look at the relationship of this program with TÜBİTAK. So we have been participating in this program since 2002. As you may know, Turkey has been contributing to this program as an associated country. So, and we have no difference from EU countries. Also, TÜBİTAK has been acting as a national coordination office since that time too. And we try to be more successful in each period than the previous one, I can say. For example, if you want to see future results about Turkey's performance during the Horizon 2020 project, we see our success rate reach to 9.8%. This is a very important progress for us compared to previous periods. And also, I have to say that we leap forward after 2019. It's worth mentioning that the determinant reason for this improvement is our EPA project, is called Turkey in Horizon 2020, and carried out by a highly experienced and successful team, I can say. For example, as a national coordination office, if we want to focus on our activities, we carry out the promoting activities to our stakeholders, such as general info days, focus group trainings, and project writing trainings, and etc. And we encourage more Turkish stakeholders to participate in the Horizon projects as a coordinator. By means of this, between 2019 and 2021, the number of our coordinators increased from 7 to 29. And the same reflection is seen in the participation rates of the Turkish stakeholders too. On the Turkish side, I should say that the private sector's interest, the SME's interest in this program is a very high compared to other types of organization. We can move on to the next slide. Yes, so what are we aiming to increase these rates even more? I can say we try to raise awareness at national and international level. We try to develop collaboration between Taral, it means Turkish Research Area, and ERA, and also mechanism to encourage participation in the Horizon, in the framework programs. Next slide, please. Thank you. So let's see that the last EU framework program is Horizon Europe program, of course. We'll guide the future of European research and innovation from 2021 to 2027. It is the biggest and most ambitious program of its kind ever, with a budget of over 95 billion euros, so we can say. The benefit of this program may be divided into three main dimensions. First is science and technology, to fuel the EU's science and technology excellence. The second one is the social dimension, to tackle policy priorities, and the last is the economic dimension, to boost Europe's innovation uptake, competitiveness, and the jobs, of course. This program presents a perfect opportunity to improve your work and cooperate with other EU programs, and while preserving your ecosystem-based model that has served European innovation so well. We can move on to the next slide. So let's have a look at the general structure of the program. Horizon Europe is composed of three vertical and one horizontal pillar. Pillar 1 is the excellent science, aiming to raise qualified people with qualified knowledge in Europe. And the Pillar 2 is the global challenges and European industrial competitiveness. And we have 6 different clusters under this pillar that are collected with the close thematic areas. These clusters were identified in accordance with the EU and sustainable goals. Most of the budget is allocated to this pillar, as you can see here. And the Pillar 3 is Innovative Europe, focusing on the co-creation. EIT and its KICs are placed in this pillar and will be key players in the Horizon Europe throughout its interdisciplinary approach. We have a budget for EIT approximately 3 billion euros to deliver the objectives under Horizon Europe program. Today we will move forward with you from the energy focus. Therefore, to give you a different perspective, I will talk about Cluster 5 under the second column and EU priorities in this context. Later on, I will briefly touch on the prominent issues in Turkey in this direction. Next slide, please, Aslanım. So this is the Cluster 5. This cluster aims to fight climate change by better understanding its causes, evaluation risks, impacts, and opportunities, and by making the energy and transport sectors more climate and environment friendly, more efficient and competitive, smarter, safer, and more resilient. 9 intervention areas are taken into consideration related to the energy, climate, and mobility fields. Cluster 5 and other clusters also support the EU's strategic objectives through activities including in its work program and throughout the support of the institutional European partnership, which are implemented through dedicated structures. We can move on to the next slide. So this is the partnership mechanism, and 11 out of 49 partnerships fall under Cluster 5. European partnerships bring the European Commission and the private and public partners together to address some of the Europe's most pressing challenges through concerted research and innovation initiatives. The aim of the European partnership with EU and associated countries, the private sector, foundations, and other stakeholders is to deliver on global challenges and modernize industry. There are 3 types of partnerships shown here, and EIT Knowledge and Innovation Communities KICs are classified here under Pillar 3. On the other hand, we as a Cluster 5 LCPs are also trying to help our stakeholders with EIT KICs in Pillar 3. These KICs are InnoEnergy for the energy field and Urban Mobility for the mobility field. Next slide, please. Thank you. And RNA activities under Cluster 5 contribute to the objectives of the European Green Deal related to the Climate Pact, the Clean Energy Strategy, the Strategic Energy Technology Plan, SET Plan, we say in short, the Strategic Transport Research and Innovation Agenda, European Circular Economy Action Plan. At the same time, the initiative documents published by the EC form the basis of the work program in which the actions under Cluster 5 take place. You can see the main documents here. And the next slide, please. Thank you. And as I told you, funding opportunities under Horizon Europe are set out in multi-annual work programs, which cover the large majority of support available. The work program of the Cluster 5 consists of 6 destinations. Call topics are announced at certain times of the year within the scope of these destinations, we can say. And we have a call calendar. The call calendar is the opening and closing dates of the calls is also is found on the work program. So what are the energy-related destinations? As you can see on the table, on the slide, on destinations titles, D3 and D4 are directly, and D2 is partially energy-related destinations. Next slide, please. Yes, as I mentioned before, work programs are published multi-annual form periods. Next November, we expect publication of the Cluster 5 work program for 23 and 24. So what awaits us in the new program? We look forward to maximizing the impact and uptake of activities, moving mission forward, and reinforce the social dimension and fostering synergies between partnerships and European missions. We can move on to the next slide. So, what will be the effect of the Repower EU strategy in terms of energy on the new work program of Cluster 5? And on the energy supply side, alternative technology solutions focusing on replacing natural gas with renewable gases and scaling up renewable energy resources massively are expected. For example, hydrogen is one of the very important pillars to reach the objectives of Repower EU plan, and we can see the subject in many cluster work programs. There is also a more important partnership called Clean Hydrogen Joint Undertaking to serve Europe's strategy to become a hydrogen economy, but you cannot see here. The second effect is seen on the energy demand side, is aiming to reduce reliance on fossil fuels across multiple sectors, mainly buildings, transport, and industry. The final issue is the energy system, and we are expecting more electricity in the system to electrify as much as possible with the integration of a higher share of renewable energy sources. Here you can see which topics are more focused on the work program. Now let's give a little break here on the work program, and if you want, let's look at what's happening in Turkey in these areas. Turkey not only follows developments in Europe closely, but also makes a great effort to increase the share of renewable energy in the name of the decarbonization, we can say. So we can move on to the next slide. What is the general motivation for the novelties in our energy system in Turkey? As I told you before, our first motivation is decarbonization, and the second one is the development and integration of more and more renewables into the grid, and electrifying the consumption directly. We have good renewable resources such as geothermal and hydropower, wind and solar resources, and half of the installed capacity in Turkey is sourced from renewable, we can say. We are the first in Europe in geothermal and hydropower installed capacity since 2020 and 2021 respectively. We are founded on the grid connection area also as a Turkey. Turkey is making an enormous high effort to push renewable into the energy system as well as into the regulatory framework and the strategic plan. And we need to be more faster, maybe. We need to keep our position. We can move on to the next slide.
Yes, I will, but we also have a little time left, so if you can briefly complete, it will be great.
Okay. So what do Turkey and countries like Turkey needs it's in this situation? What should we do? And I can underline that the concept of the production and consumption aggregator is the more important for us, and the digitalization requirement is highly important for us too. And the market integration of this structure through power systems planning tools, we can say. Last but not least, the demand side of the participation has also come to the fore. And at the end of the day, all of this brings you making the connection from labs to fabs. We need to make this connection of bringing innovation to the ground. Here comes the importance of the EIT kicks, we can say. EIT are present at every step of this cycle, and also at the point of raising human resources. For example, during the TBB event, I saw over the 25,000 jobs produced directly or indirectly throughout EIT since now. So you have a great innovation environment, and you can spread your skills and experience throughout Horizon Europe program. Therefore, I would like to talk to you about two different Horizon 2020 projects that have been supported in the fields of energy. So we can move on to the next slide quickly. So the first project, I will tell you about, I especially preferred stakeholders with startup or SME status, I can say. The first is Ebola's project. You can see the aim of this project. And Ebola's project brings together 15 partners from 10 different European countries. And there's an SME from Turkey, is Reangen. And as far as we know, that Reangen has a several responsibility in the project, leading a work package developing grid flexibility solutions. Besides, Reangen is developing a mobile app for end users. We can move on to the next slide. And so, yes, thank you. So the last project is EcoCube. EcoCube brings together 12 partners from 6 different European countries. In this project, we have SME coordinators from Turkey, is Lande. The aim of the project you can see here, but we would like to proudly say that this project received TÜBİTAK project writing support. We can move on to the next slide. Sorry about it. Yes, this is the funding, support and award programs for EU framework programs. As part of the event today, the most important ones are coordinator support and the other support for the membership to the network. So we can move on to next. Yes, I would like to underline only the support for the membership to the networks. So this year, the applications are currently closed, and this is only available for the companies or for the institutions found in Turkey can apply for this applications for this applications. Yes, EIT InnoEnergy is one of the networks covered by this support. We can move on to the next slide.
Is it the last slide?
Yeah. Yes. Sorry about it. And yes, I come to end of my presentation. In conclusion, I would like to say that we need to speed up to keep and catch the pole position in every stage of innovation for providing a green transition and affordable energy. And that's all from my side. I hope I didn't bore you too much. You can reach us whenever you want from the email addresses listed here, and in the chat box you can see my personal email addresses. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, of course, to talk about in your inspiring event. Thank you very much again.
Teşekkürler Hanife Hanım, and it was a very informative one. Thank you for that. And Hanife Hanım doesn't have so much time, so we cannot get questions, but you just seen on the screen her email address. You can send her an email address, an email your questions when you want. Teşekkürler Hanife Hanım, and bye. Yes, so we move on to our next session, which is EIT and its role in Europe. And for this session, Innovation Officer at EIT, Luke Inkorvaha, will be here with us. Hi, Luke, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, Natalie. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
My pleasure.
I'm sharing your presentation, and then stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I think we can go straight away to the next slide, please. First and foremost, let me start by apologizing for using the term Turkey in my presentation, but I think it slips off the tongue a little bit easier for me, and as I go through my presentation, it will make my life a little bit easier. So please do understand me. There's no other reason for that but this. So I'd also like to say a big thank you to the previous speaker for giving such a good introduction in terms of placing the EIT within the wider European innovation landscape. So it's my job now to focus a little bit more on the EIT and maybe elaborate a little bit further. So first and foremost, what is the EIT? The EIT is an independent body of the European Union. We're an integral part of the EU framework program for research and innovation, Horizon Europe being the current one. We were set up with a very specific and clear mandate: improve Europe's innovation capacity. How? Well, we were the first and remain the only organization at EU level which brings together the so-called three sides of the knowledge triangle. So higher education institutions, universities, research performing organizations, and business. Now, in reality, how do we do this? Well, we create so-called knowledge and innovation communities, with EIT and Energy being one of these. I will present the others in a moment. Each of our knowledge and innovation communities, or KICs for short, address a very specific societal challenge. So can I please ask for the next slide? So here we have the list of our 8 currently introducing the 9th KIC. These are in the areas of climate, digital, energy, health, raw materials, food, manufacturing, urban mobility, and earlier this year we have launched a new KIC in the area of culture and creativity. Now, each of these KICs are long-term partnerships, as we said, bringing together Europe's largest and Europe's leading businesses, higher education institutions, and research performing organizations in order to bring innovations to the market, innovations which will have an impact in terms of solving some of the most pressing societal challenges facing Europe and the world today. Now, each of these kicks are very much independent and autonomous in terms of what they do and how they do it. Why? Well, the EIT truly is a bottom-up organization, and we very much believe in the innovator knows best principle. Next slide, please. However, despite this high degree of flexibility, this high degree of autonomy, each of our kicks delivers on the EIT, the EU's, and Horizon Europe's mandate and objective by delivering on the three key pillars. The first is education, particularly entrepreneurship education. This can take various forms, from masters and PhD EIT labeled programs to lifelong learning, mooches, executive courses. So this ensures that we marry the technical skills, which of course come with STEM studies, with the entrepreneurial skills to allow us to bring to the market the next generation of entrepreneurs. The second pillar is EIT business creation and acceleration activities. Again, we offer a wide variety of activities here, ranging from pre-incubation, from early stage idea holders, all the way to acceleration and beyond. Now, the last pillar is innovation-driven research projects. I should highlight that the EIT, being an integral part of Horizon Europe, does not fund research activities. There are other instruments under Horizon Europe which are better adapted at that. What we do is close to market activities. We help to bring research results and turn those into commercial products and services, which will have a material benefit on the lives of Europe and its citizens. Next slide, please. Now, I would very much like to go into the big overview of how Turkey has been doing within the EIT over the last years. So until the end of 2021, the EIT communities, that's us and our kicks, were supporting 7 unique Turkish partners working in the areas of raw materials, urban mobility, and climate change, who together had received more than 450,000 euros. Now, this may not sound like a lot, and indeed it is below our ambition as EIT. This is something I'll go into in the next slide. However, I want to highlight that the EIT, I'd like to go the previous slide, please. The EIT is not only about receiving funding, and as I can highlight here, over 1,000 Turkish nationals in 2021 alone had benefited from EIT entrepreneurship, education, and training activities. Additionally, also in 2021 alone, we were supporting 33 Turkish ventures, some of which have registered very significant interest from investors or have registered very strong commercial success. One of these, BioLive, is a company which is supported by EIT Food. Today, with EIT support, has a market capitalization of 26.5 million, something we are very proud of. Additionally, the EIT kicks have representation on the ground, 3 representation on the ground in Turkey, EIT Energy, EIT Food, and EIT Urban Mobility. Next slide, please. So how do we aim to engage further with Turkey? As I said, we are, of course, happy with the results we are delivering in Turkey, but it's clear that this remains below potential, and Turkey is a key priority for us. It's an important country, and we want to do more there. So how are we going to do this? Firstly, we will be using three tools. I will just mention them quickly here because I will be going into these in a little bit more detail in a moment. The EIT RIS, or the EIT Regional Innovation Scheme, specific cross-kick action supporting emerging countries in Europe in terms of their innovation, as well as a new, relatively new EIT action to support higher education institutions. But a core, I believe, tool which will be very useful in terms of attracting additional partners and participants from Turkey in EIT kick activities is an EIT Community RIS Hub, which we plan to launch before the end of 2025. I believe this will actually happen around 2024. What is this? So this will be an on-the-ground representation for the whole EIT community. So this would be one place anyone could go to understand all the opportunities which are emerging from the EIT community and be a centralized source of information on all our KICs. We will have a physical space. We will also have a website in Turkish. And it will also be our main way of engaging with the Turkish authorities and also to help build capacity on the ground. Very recently, on the 5th of September, we launched a new document called the EIT Risk Hub's Minimum Standards and Guiding Principles. It is available on our website at the EIT, eit.europa.eu, and I do invite you to look into that, which will give all the details on what we plan to do. Additionally, we have been in touch with national authorities in Turkey. We believe we will see a significant increase in participation in Turkey, but we want to go beyond that natural growth rate and try to do something together, including, if possible, through synergetic use of the instrument for pre-accession assistance. Next slide, please. Okay, so let me go very quickly through these the next three slides. These are the three tools I mentioned. First and foremost, what is the EIT risk? The EIT risk is a tool for which Turkey is fully eligible to give additional top-up support to those countries in Europe considered to be modest or emerging innovators, moderate or emerging innovators, according to the European Innovation Scoreboard. Through this scheme, we aim to do two things. First and foremost, we aim to build the local innovation system, build the capacity, innovation capacity of the local innovation ecosystem. And secondly, we aim to widen participation, attract and engage increasing number of partners and participants from these countries within the EIT KICs and their activities. The budget for this is between 10 and 15% of the EIT grant allocated to KIC activities. So that means around 420 million over the course of the 7 years between 2021 and 2027. Next slide, please. So I will not go into this in much detail. I know my very capable colleague Dora will present this in some detail after me, so I will avoid boring you with too many details. But this is a way how all KICs have come together to jointly support and work together in order to deliver additional impact within the countries I mentioned, right? So within those countries in Europe considered to be emerging European regions in terms of innovation. The flagship activity here is the EIT Jumpstarter, a pre-accelerator program, which aims to support early stage idea holders with tailored training and mentoring. Now, if my memory serves me well, around 44 teams have been supported in terms of Turkey under the EIT Jumpstarter. We believe we could do even more, and this is one of those areas where we have discussed with the Turkish authorities where we can do more. We believe that with financial support from the Turkish authorities, we could potentially roll out support activities which will help us attract even more participants from Turkey over the next years. Next slide, please. Right, the very last one is a new EIT activity we rolled out last year, and we have done so far 2 rounds of financial support, which aims to support higher education institutions, particularly those higher education institutions which are not yet part of the EIT community and therefore highly, we believe, attractive and relevant for Turkish universities, which will support them to strengthen the entrepreneurial and innovation capacity, not only their own, but also their ability to teach entrepreneurship and innovation. In total, we aim to support around 750 universities by 2027. So this is a key opportunity, we believe, for Turkey to grasp and go ahead with. I put there the link, so please do feel free to explore further what we offer. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm coming to the very end of my presentation, and I hope I'm still on time. But very, very quickly, if you're interested in the EIT, what could you do? How can you get involved in the EIT community? So first and foremost, there are 3 ways on how you can get involved. Firstly, you can become a partner. What does that mean? Well, becoming a partner has key benefits, but also responsibility. The benefits are that you will be an integral part of the kick. You will have the ability to even be part of the decision-making process of the kick. You can run, this is the key point, you can propose and run projects within the kick. But as part of this responsibility, one would need to pay. There is a membership fee, which is key because we aim to ensure that after 15 years, all our kicks are financially independent from the EIT and continue to deliver impact without the need to receive structured grant from the EIT. But if you're not willing, of course, or you cannot fork out a partnership fee. By the way, you can find all the information on partnership fees. There are different levels of partnership fees on the EIT's website, which will direct you to the KIC website. So please go there and you will find out more. You can collaborate with the KIC. So while a KIC partner will be coordinating a project, you could participate, right, in that project, and all the opportunities, all the open calls emerging from the EIT community, which are many, are published on the EIT's website with an opportunities page. Please visit that regularly, and you will have everything there in terms of how we can benefit and collaborate. The last is how to benefit, all right? So if you're a student, right, you can become part of the EIT labeled education programs. If you're a startup, you can participate in that. If you're an executive who wishes to improve your skills, reskilling, upskilling, skilling in deep tech, for example, is an area we are now focusing on going forward. These are all ways you can benefit. And the last two are, of course, completely free, although in terms of collaboration, I should highlight that there could be some times where a KIC would require you to become a partner in order to collaborate. Next slide. Now, what do you do? Okay, you've heard me say this, you're interested, you have an idea, but you're not sure. What do you do? First and foremost, please visit our website. The link is there. Then try and think a little bit in terms of where your interest lies. Which KIC team is most of interest to you? On the EIT's website, you can explore all our KICs. You can look into what they do, what they have to offer. And again, the next one is see what would bring you most value in terms of your own needs. Okay, look at what being a partner entails, how much it costs, what other avenues for collaboration exist. The last is please visit our opportunities and funding page. This is very much where you will find all the information you need. Last but not least, of course, we have Turkey, in Turkey rather, sorry, a national contact point. The link to all the information is there. So please do visit them, do ask them your questions, and we will be more than happy to support the national contact point and you in anything you may need. I believe that's it for me. Next slide, please. That's it. So thank you for your attention, and I'm very happy to take any questions which you may have.
Grazie, Luke. Thank you so much. And we don't have any questions right now, but it was a great presentation. And you can also share your email address. If they have any question, they can send. And see you on the panel. And thank you so much. Now we continue with our next session, which will be the KICS session, actually, becoming a part of Europe's largest innovation ecosystem. What is in it for you? And we will start with EIT InnoEnergy. So Regional Business Development Manager of CEE, Frujina Chonka, will join us now. Hi, Fruji, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. İyi günler. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm sharing your presentation and the stage is yours.
Perfect. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for the really insightful presentations so far. We're always learning every single day something new. And now a bit of a review of actually what we do at EIT InnoEnergy and what's worth knowing about us. And the first question is that what is in it for us? And in the end of the day, I think that everything what we do and everything what is currently has been already mentioned about Turkey and the innovation ecosystem's priorities is what we do and what is interesting for us working together with Turkish stakeholders. On the first slide, actually on the next slide, please ask the next one. what you will see is our objectives and the overall picture of actually what do we do. In general, InnoEnergy, as one of the KICs established 12 years ago, is here to focus on the sustainable energy system, on the sustainable energy industry. We are working with innovators, we are working with companies, technology providers, we are working with large industry to practically achieve our common goal of the next couple of years, to go carbon neutral, to go sustainable, to go circular. And that's our key mission. But of course, it has some specifics of what we do and how we do that, essentially to boost the innovation ecosystem in whole Europe and in Turkey as well. How we do that? One of the things which you can see is part of the question how, is that we do it internationally. We have offices all over Europe, and my key priority is, as I'm responsible for the commercial activities in Central Eastern Europe, is to focus on CEE and therefore Turkey as well. And what we do is we invest primarily. We, as we call it, aim to engage in smart investments, in impact investments. Currently, we have a portfolio of more than 200 companies, which we will a little bit showcase in a couple of seconds. And we work with those companies to grow, to commercially develop, to be successful, to enter new markets, and to actually be able to join into those value chains throughout the whole sustainable energy system, which can make a change, which can make an impact. What we also do, parallel next to it, is of course focus on education. We will also talk about it a little bit later on the house. But what's important to know, and many of you already been probably coming across of this value of InnoEnergy, that we've been having master programs and education programs since the beginning, really, as we know that entrepreneurship and technology innovation cannot be happening without focusing on the right knowledge, the right know-how, the right people, essentially. InnoEnergy is a rather complex ecosystem. And let's go jump to the next slide, please, Asli. Thank you. As I mentioned, we have been an impact investor until now as well. We've been recognized on multiple levels, which we're very proud of. Of course, we will be sharing this presentation with you. You will have the opportunity to read the details of our activities in the last couple of years. I will jump further this time a little bit, talk about a bit more, maybe not realistic, but more relevant subject when it comes to Turkey in this moment. Let's jump to the next one, please. Thank you. So as I mentioned, we have a large portfolio of companies. And Bashar has already mentioned in the very beginning of today's event that we've been working on many of our companies to go towards the Turkish market. We're having conversations for years with the Turkish DSOs, the Turkish TSOs, energy companies. We have partnerships which are extremely valuable for us because in the end of the day, that's the way how we can reach our common goals, finding the right solutions, and helping also the industry to implement those technologies into their own operations. Our portfolio is separated on different levels, on different metrics, but what is important to highlight right now is you can see already generation, electricity generation, energy generation. You can see grid and infrastructure, energy consumptions, and user focus. What is not written per se out here, but also focusing on onshore, offshore, batteries, smart cities. All these focal points are extremely relevant because they are all interconnected at one point or another. And our portfolio is the one which is giving the need which the climate change process, the energy transformation currently needs. We still know that approximately 50% of those technologies which are needed by 2030, 2050 to reach the goals which we all have in Europe are not necessarily even existing yet. So our goal is to find those people out there and those technologies which are part of that solution. Let's jump to the next slide, please. Thank you. And again, the network and who we are. All of you who are part of this call and this event today are part of our value. We are making change and business as well together only if we are connected. InnoEnergy's ecosystem is a fundamental value to us and to whole Europe, I believe. Currently, we have 29 shareholders, and some of them you can see highlighted on the slide as well, which we're very proud. Some of them are rather new announcements. But having shareholders as ING and Volkswagen, they are extremely valuable in order for us to, again, build companies, build technologies, and also segregate the information which is needed within the industry. Let's jump to the next slide, please. And this is when it comes down to our focus. You see a little bit of a shift on the slide. Apologies for that. What's very important is you see a lot of information. It's a big matrix of our activities, but focusing on technologies, entrepreneurs, and education, the best way to do, in our point of view, is to focus on industrial strategic value chains. Now, when it comes to Turkey, from a global standpoint, the automotive industry is approximately 4% of the Turkish GDP. Approximately 13% of that is an export. And the interesting fact is that a bit more than 60% of that export is going towards European markets. We've been in touch in the last couple of years already with Turkish OEMs, tier 1, tier 2 companies, and there have been since the December 2020 multiple announcements also on the battery sector when it comes to Turkey. The transportation sector's transition is a known fact for all of us. And one of the key elements here, why we are so involved in this international discussion, is because since 2017, we have received the mandate from the European Commission to establish the European Battery Alliance 250, which we started as of 5 years ago, and a very valuable work have been done, currently maintaining approximately 700 partners under the EBA 250 Alliance as our primary industrial value chain approach. I will still come back here for a second, but this has two other industrial value chains which we need to also highlight here. And I'm very happy that Hanifa also mentioned decarbonization, circular economy, because the European Green Hydrogen Acceleration Center is a crucial part and has a crucial role to decarbonize manufacturing, to decarbonize heavy industry, which is a very important segment as well when it comes to Turkey, and to be honest, many of our Central Eastern European countries. And it's also a bit of a news as of not long time ago that the European Solar Photovoltaic Industry Alliance have been also mandated to us, to EIT Energy, to manage this network, to find the right technologies, to focus on a comprehensive industrial supply chain, to understand from raw materials to recycling what are the focal points, to supply and support those technologies which are relevant for PV manufacturing, PV materials. As we know that the PV boom is and has been crucial for years, but we always need to understand that there are weaker and stronger points in every value chain. And once we understand that, we can focus on growing those weak points and increase them and improve them. Let's jump to the next slide, please, Ashley. Thank you. And so how we do that? If you look at one value chain, and now let's focus on the European Battery Alliance. As I mentioned, it comes down from raw materials to recycling, the whole segment, working with all the stakeholders under those qualities and categories, focus on R&D and innovation, focus on inclusion, but then also what we've seen in the last especially 2 years, now that multiple gigafactories are growing in Europe, and Central Eastern Europe is also start to be a more and more of a focal point of that fact. A certain industry cannot grow from zero, from scratch, to the numbers and scale which we want to achieve if we do not have enough know-how and knowledge on actually how to do that. Therefore, what we've understood as EIT Energy in the last 2 years is that we need to focus and use our education arm and already gathered and built know-how on skilling the workforce, on providing the relevant categorized know-how to those companies, to those industries, to those people in every single country where there are lacking gaps in order to make those factories, make those companies run to the full capacity. What does this mean? Let's jump to the last slide, please. Asli, thank you. It's a very important point to make for Turkey as well and for the Turkish stakeholders that in the last 2 years, under the European Battery Alliance 250 framework, we have established a program called the European Battery Academy, which means that we have channeled all of our knowledge, mostly online, but also blended courses, into one platform, learning platform, which we are aiming to provide to all the stakeholders who feel in a certain country that they need extra know-how, they need reskilling and upskilling within their own businesses, within their own streams, in order to fill the gaps, in order to maintain human workforce, in order to maintain enough people, and also fight a little bit of the brain drain, which we are still experiencing all over Europe and on an even rather international scale as well. Therefore, I also announce it as a call to action that in case you're working or yourself, you feel you have business lines where you feel that focusing on reskilling and upskilling, especially when it comes to the battery sector, we are here as a partner. We're happy to talk. We're happy to share information, partner up, and discuss the opportunities. Because in the end of the day, EIT Energy, as every other KIC as well, we have the common vision of making the transition happen, to help the industry to achieve the goals while making profitable and valuable business cases for all of us. And we are there for that. So therefore, please get in touch. Happy to talk. And I'm very eager to hear the rest of the presentations from my colleagues from the other KICs and have a common discussion. Thank you very much, Asli.
Köszönöm szépen, Fruji. Thank you. Thank you for the great presentation. And now we continue for the next KIC, which is EIT Climate KIC. And yes, Beatriz Camacho Avila will be here with us, EIT Regional Innovation Scheme Ecosystem Manager for Southern Europe. Hi, Beatriz.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you for having me. I think I'm going to present so just give me 30 seconds.
Sure.
And let's see if I can. Okay. So please, could you confirm that you see the slides?
It's coming now. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. So good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me representing Climate KIC, one of the KICs that Luke commented a few minutes before. And I'm going to be brief because we have other KICs coming, and it's so wonderful to see the such an offer that we have for this country. So just one, because it's not moving. Okay. So as Ashley said, I belong to the KIC focused on climate, and our mission is to do innovation working towards a prosperous, inclusive, climate resilient society founded on a circular zero carbon economy. I belong to one of the programs that Luke explained that are on top of the standard EIT offer to support certain countries that need a little bit of extra help when it comes to the innovation capabilities. Those countries are the ones that you see in yellow and orange, but of course Turkey is also included. And what I show you this map, because I belong to this program and my KIC is focused on 13 countries. But as you will see in a minute, we do also deliver and collaborate with Turkish stakeholders. This slide summarizes what we have done in the last year And it is not a big surprise for you because, as you know, the EIT use three pillars. We do innovation, we do education, and we do entrepreneurship. And we put all together in a portfolio working with industry, policymakers, research, and education actors. So this is what we delivered last year. We have a big community of 64 partners. We deliver 7 innovation projects, and you can see the numbers for some of our education programs. Our offer in Turkey is not big, that I should say, but it's because, as Luke explained before, our KIC was created 14 years ago. So we are one of the first wave KICs, and now we are very focused on certain geographies and programs because, as you know, the KICs collaboration or the strongest collaboration with the EITs during these first 15 years. But I'm so happy to tell you that we are continuing and expanding our role in Turkey, and I'm going to focus on two examples here. The first is and how you can use our strong European and international network for cross-country collaboration, and I will use one of collaboration with our hub in Malta, but also our Open Accelerator. This is one of the initiatives that Luke explained before for higher education institutions launched by the EIT 2 years ago. I'm happy to say that Climate KIC is hosting one consortium with Turkish partners, and well, one is member of the consortium, the other one is an associate partner, but they are working together to deliver a shared vision of prosperous, inclusive, climate resilient societies in food systems and other areas of human activity that are sustainable through training, design, and tailor innovation, capacity building, and also incubating and supporting startups. I was checking the numbers, and the targets are supporting 645 students, 66 academics, and 66 non-academic actors in order to build innovation and entrepreneurial capacity in these countries. And then the second example that I wanted to explain is our Open Clim Accelerator. This is a global open source program giving startups access to innovate, catalyze, and scale the potential of their climate solutions. And this is shaped by our 10-year experience and our accelerator, which has been implemented in more than 25 countries. And also it goes beyond European borders, and you will see very soon a map on this. So just to give you an idea, our Open Accelerator is like TEDx, the TEDx conference format that is so popular worldwide. So the way TEDx enabled 10 of millions around the world to experience the quality of TED Talks, we designed a system for the accelerator that can be implemented by any organization all over the world. And as you can see here, when I say all over the world, I do mean it because we can see we are from Canada to China, covering South America and also Africa. Our themes are very connected to climate, and as you can see, we have 12 verticals, and any of our collaborators can combine them as best as they consider. And this is the Turkish accelerator that started last year. And the running or the delivery partner is Viveka. And we are very proud of this because it covers different themes. It covers urban, industrial, and environmental protection for rural areas. They closed the selection of startups in September. And you will see the 17 startups that has been selected all over Turkey to be part of this year. I'm also happy to tell you that we have a second Open Accelerator in the pipeline. There's no confirmed date yet, but it will cover countries, Sudan and the Baltics, and we are also very excited about it because it will be focused on agriculture. As I mentioned,
sorry for interrupting, Beatrice. If you can briefly complete it, will be great. We are almost out of time.
Perfect. I'll take just 1 minute. So these are the startups that got selected this year. And in any case, I will share my presentation later. So if there's anyone with further questions, I'm happy to answer them. These are the benefits of participating with us on this initiative. But again, I will leave the details later. But we do share with you narrative, collaboration, and tools. We support with investment, and we also put at your disposition our community of more than 400 partners to scale the initiative. I put here just a few items of the memorandum of understanding, but again, for whoever who's interested, I will be happy to have a meeting and discuss later. This is how it looks, the process to start the collaboration. It's a 5-step process from a meeting with us until we launch the accelerator. And I put here the contact of my colleague Christian Dove, who is the lead of this initiative. But again, either Christian or I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. And again, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Muchas gracias, Beatriz, and thank you for joining. Bye. Now we continue with EIT Food. And from EIT Food Turkey office, Foodback's co-founder, Tuğçe Ergüncüreli is here with us right now. Hi, Tuğçe, welcome.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Fine. And would you like me to show your presentation?
I can share my presentation.
Okay.
Let me see. If I can, I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll let you share it.
Okay. Give me a sec. Yeah.
All right. So this is Tuğçe. I'm co-founder of EIT Food Turkey. We've been present in Turkey since 2018, and it's nice to be talking from the Turkish hub side. But please forgive me if I do any mistakes about the EIT Food Global projects. So let's start. Aslı. Okay, so why is EIT Food present in the world? As you know, food and agriculture is one of the first few problems in the world right now, creating climate change. So basically, we don't have enough food to feed us, and unfortunately, we waste so much of our food. And in order to find good solutions, we need entrepreneurs working in this field. But food and agriculture is not easy industry for entrepreneurs to thrive. So the failure rate is really high, and the investment costs are really high because these are mostly biotechnology firms. So we need foundations like EIT Food in order to accelerate businesses in this industry. Next slide. Yeah. So the vision is creating a world where everybody can democratically access food, good food, healthy food, and we need a transparent supply chain. That's the vision of EIT Food. It's a crowded family, as you can see here. It wasn't like this when we first started in 2018, and it amazes me how many more startups and research centers are now in the map. The community consists of the biggest food and agriculture companies, and the best thing is it's not only corporates, the research centers, universities, and startups are really as important as the big corporate companies in this world. So it's a crowded family. Key regional alliances, as you can see, there are 17 hubs in Europe, and Impact Hub Istanbul is one of them. And we are part of the EIT Food South CLC. And there are 3 other impact hubs in this kick map. That's why we love this. Next slide, please. And the strategic agenda, in EIT Food, we always talk about the knowledge triangle, where we gather corporates, academia, and entrepreneurs together in a triangle, but we put the consumers in the middle. So all the innovation that we want to occur is actually consumer-centric. And there are 6 focus areas: protein diversification, sustainable agriculture, targeted nutrition, sustainable aquaculture, digital traceability, and circular food systems are our 6 focus areas. And usually the programs that I'm going to mention in the next slides focus on these areas. Yeah, you can go forward. Let's do one more. There are a lot of projects. So in order to understand the projects better, we divide them into 4: education, innovation, public engagement, and entrepreneurship. So in education, programs are focused on high school students, master's students, PhD students. So there are programs for also corporates as well. Internship, risk summer schools, they're usually open for everyone. They're usually free of cost. And innovation programs are open twice a year. I mean, this year at least, they're open twice a year. And the importance of these innovation programs are that corporates are applying for these innovation programs, corporates who have projects that can actually transform the food industry, but they don't apply alone. They apply with academia, startups, and they usually apply with 2 other countries, so that the impact is actually high through these innovation programs. These new technologies on oil extraction are one of the examples of these innovation programs. And the public engagement programs, in public engagement programs, usually the public is in the center, and we ask our consumers what they need. And these are to engage people so that they become change agents of the food system. And the entrepreneurship programs are the programs that we as EIT Food Turkey Hub is actually strong in as well. Test Farms, Team Up, EVA, Challenge Labs, Regenerative Agriculture are some examples. I'll go into detail in the next slides. We can go forward. This is an example of an innovation program where, as you can see, different alliances applied together, and this is just to foster innovation through different parts of knowledge triangle. It's a good example. We can go. So the Open Innovation Call is now open until April 2023. And the companies who want to apply to these innovation calls, usually in Turkey, they reach to us. We help them find other partners so that they will be eligible to apply for the innovation calls. Focus areas are usually the 6 focus areas that we talked about in the previous slides. And the people who want to learn more about these innovation calls can actually find a lot of information on the webpage, because the previous projects are usually available to see for other companies. Yeah. Risk Fellowships program. This is one of our favorites. We've been doing it from the first year, and they are for graduate students who want to work abroad, and these are paid internship programs. They usually last from a month to 3 months, and some of the success stories in previous fellowship programs were from our Turkish students as well. And there are 3 examples, I think, now that they continue working in the in these companies. So this is a great program to actually attract the best talents and give them the opportunities to live their talents. Summer schools, they're online. They usually last for 3 weeks, and these are, even the corporate professionals apply for these summer schools. They're niche programs for people who actually want to learn new stuff. So there are usually information about these summer schools on LinkedIn. EVA program is one of our favorite ones as well, Empowering Women in Agri-Food. This is a niche program where women entrepreneurship, innovation, technology, and impact come together. And but it's been going really well. This is the 3rd year of the Empowering Women in Agri-Food program in 11 countries. And as you can see in the Global Impact Circus, 260 startups have been trained till now. The good thing about this program is, because it's a niche program, the mentorship, the one-to-one mentorship, and the online trainings are developed especially for this area. So hopefully we're going to see the results of this year's cohort at the end of November. Research Innovation Network. I have 1 minute left, Aslı. That's why you're here.
Okay. You're almost done, yeah.
Okay, 2 more slides and then I'm done. Okay, then let's go to the next slide. Team Up. This is a program for R&D specialists who have great ideas, but they don't have the business background. So they come together with people who have business background, and they collaborate together to create impactful startups. Let's go. Test farms. This is a great solution for agri-tech entrepreneurs. People who are in this business know that the major problem for the agri-tech startups is that they don't have areas to test their products. And this is a great program for these entrepreneurs to actually test their products so that they validate their results much better and see if that works. Last but not least, water scarcity. As you know, water is going to be our major problem, unfortunately, in the coming years. And this is a program to create Europe as a water smart Europe. And all the people who are actually interested in this program can apply. They can either be experts, they can either be students or entrepreneurs and become a part of the water scarcity program. Thank you. I'm done.
Teşekkürler Tuğçe. Thank you for joining us.
Anyone who wants to reach me, I'm available. I can write my email. Thank you.
Yes, if you can write it down, I will share. Thank you. And our final kick, EIT Health. So for EIT Health, Regional Innovation Scheme Business Creation Manager, Tamesh Bikashi is here with us now. Welcome. Can you hear us? Tamesh?
Yes, now, sorry, there is a delay, so sorry for that. Yeah, hi everyone, nice to be here.
Yeah, you can share your screen and start, thank you.
Yes, I will do that, just a moment. Just a moment, please.
No worries.
Okie doke, here we are. So, yes, this is it.
Yes.
I hope that you can see my screen.
Now we can see it, thank you.
Oh, okay, great. So welcome everyone, I'm Tamesh Bikashi representing EIT Health, and within EIT Health, the RIS program, and within the RIS program, the Accelerator portfolio. So I'm responsible for the Accelerator portfolio of EIT Health within Central, Eastern, and Southern Europe. so far, we heard many presentations about EIT and the structure we follow. So I don't want to waste too much time of yours because Luke already mentioned that the main pillars of EIT, therefore, also the sister companies like EIT Health is actually standing on 3 pillars. The campus, the accelerator, and the innovation projects. So again, this is just a short recap. What we are doing in general as EIT Health. So definitely campus is about the education programs. So within our portfolio, a large set of programs we are managing, co-organizing, co-founding, or participating. So that's a really, really huge and variety of programs we are taking part. The accelerator, obviously, it's about startups. So we have a large portfolio, and I would mainly focus on these opportunities, which is already open. I mean, some of these programs are already open for Turkish startups. We already hosted, actually, Turkish startups. Now I'm in Vienna at the moment, hosting Attract to Invest. I will talk about later on this program, which is about fundraising, and we have a Turkish team within the winner of 15 teams. So we already actively working together with Turkish teams, and of course in the future we hope that we will have more teams coming from this country. So accelerator programs, it's again a large portfolio of different startup related programs. We are able to support and help startups from the ideation phase to the scale up and scale out phase, meaning that we are already having influence on startups. Actually, teams, we cannot rename them startups because at the really beginning of the journey, they just have an idea. 2 members in the team have an idea and they would like to do something with it. So actually from this point, we are able to support them. We're able to give them education, and I will talk about later on what type of support we are giving them, and we can lead them forward in their journey. And whenever they need some help, we're able to do that and give them. So innovation project, this is the 3rd pillar. Here we are also working together with startups. So there is a strong link between the campus, the accelerator, and the innovation project, because whoever is actually would like to become an entrepreneur from the campus side, which is quite common, they can start their journey in the accelerator programs. And whoever actually is getting into the stage where they're able to cooperate with industrial partners, big multinational companies, then they can take part in innovation projects. Of course, innovation project, we are mostly forming consortiums, but we are also having a kind of inverse engineering way of doing consortiums. So we have a specific program where startups are the lead partner actually in the consortiums, and they are collecting partner among the universities and multinational industrial players. So here we try to give as many opportunities as possible for startups. And what type of support? This is the main question, of course, we would like to cover by this slide. So first of all, knowledge. So we are talking about education, different forms of education. So from the simple training through the boot camps till the mentoring, we're able to give tailor-made and, of course, group-based education forms. Whenever we are talking about the content of the education, of course, we have specific trainings, boot camps, also mentorship, of course, for specific health-related topics. But the mostly in our education programs or education forms, we are focusing on business skills because, of course, it's quite obvious. Life sciences are usually, life science innovations are hosted by researchers, doctors, students. So actually people who are not really into the business world, it's not their duty because they are perfect what they're doing in their own field. So our duty from EIT House perspective is to help them to drive these innovations to the market, become successful, and of course prosperous on the market, and then bigger and extended, and of course become a global player. So that's pretty much the aim. But for this, they also need to learn how to do business from their ideas, from their prototypes, from their product actually. So first is the knowledge. The second, which is kind of connected to the third one, so stakeholders in market. What do we mean under that? So actually we have a really extended network of partners. So EIT House have currently 150 plus industrial players and universities on the partner base. So these partners are looking for cooperation opportunities with startups. So whenever we are talking about actually collaborative partners, maybe investors, maybe also customers in the future. We're able to connect these dots, connect our partners with startups on demand, of course, and we're able to make these kind of informal consortiums a little bit out of EIT House happen. Besides the networking and matchmaking, we're actively seeking for different type of projects, partners among the startups. So actually, whenever it is needed, we are having the capability to introduce startups to valuable partners. And I need to here make a mentioning for instance, one of our recent projects, which is common with Roche, this Roche Healthcare Lab, where actually we are working and co-funding a project with Roche, where Roche is looking for partners for specific fields. So it's a challenge-based program, but whoever is taking part have a really good chance to work Roche after the program. So that's a really direct intention throughout the program to make this collaboration happen during the program and after the program. And the fourth one is finance. So different type of money we are talking about it. Of course, it's pretty essential for all the startups we're working with. First of all, we have smart fundings and we have prices. So those are the two types of money we are directly able to give startups. It's important to mention here that in a year, that's maximum 50,000 euros. But in case of RIS, which is Central Eastern Southern Europe, a special program, some of our programs are still equity and share free. So it does mean that as a startup, you don't need to give any shares to us or equities from your future profit. It's all about making your progress easier, making your progress more efficient. So actually the two types of money I just mentioned, first is smart funding. The difference between smart funding and price, but in case of smart funding, you need to plan with the money, you need to actually follow your plans, and you need to justify it at the end that you use the money in the right way. We're interested in your progress. We're interested in how to move you actually closer to the market and become successful. That's our intention, and you need to justify it through the smart funding justification. And the price, which is less common in our programs, but in some of the programs I will talk about later on, is ending up with a pitching competition. Whoever is actually having the first, second, or third rank will receive prize. Price is not, of course, reportable, but you don't need to justify how you are using this money because, you know, from the name, this is price. So these are the two direct sources we are able to give you. But besides that, EIT House has its own instrument, financial advice. First, Investor Network. So it's actually an umbrella organization within EIT House where literally hundreds of investors in the background. So whenever you are applying to this instrument, hundreds of investors can look into your application. And if they found your project interesting, then the negotiation can start. Besides that, we also have VCOE. It's more for the major startups because the ticket size here is from 2 to 35 million euros. This is actually together with EIF, so the European Investment Fund, a common project. And this is actually working like a classical VC. So you can apply to it, you can start negotiations, and if the negotiation is successful, for a part of your company, you will receive a big ticket actually of money. But besides these formal instruments, we do have another thing, which is sometimes really, really successful, actually, sometimes more successful than our formal ones. This is the informal network of investors. Because definitely our relationship with investors is based on a win-win situation. So investors are looking for really prosperous and successful or promising startups. And we are looking for actually opportunities for our startups. So that's when it's a win-win. So we are moving hundreds of investors in our region. So whenever we are organizing a matchmaking or networking event, we are inviting them. Many of them are coming regular basis. And of course, they are interested in our new startups. So actually you would have the opportunity to talk with them and make business because that's actually the final aim. So these are the forms we are able to give you. Just a really quick overview. This is pretty much the program portfolio of this year. I just want to flash it because you can recognize it's a pretty much what we have from ideation to scale up and scale out. And just would like to show two numbers from our recent years. So actually, in the last 5 years, we supported 758 startups. And it's important, this is not EIT House money. So actually, we attracted from external sources 248 million euros from outside sources. And do you really want to quickly go through? I know that I can talk a lot, first of all. So I try to be effective and fast. So really just quickly, this is the incubation phase. What I just mentioned to you, the ideation related startup program. It's called Jumpstarter program. So it's not just only EIT Health, other kicks are in. And actually, if you have an idea, just an idea, and a team member, you are eligible to apply. Turkey is definitely in. So if you are, and my colleague actually are right after me, we'll have a detailed presentation on Jumpstarter. So if you have any questions later on, you can turn to Dora.
I really need to stop here. I'm really sorry for interrupting, but we are really out of time right now.
Can I have one more minute, please? Only one.
Okay.
I will just run quickly. So InnoStars Awards, MVP prototype stage companies, Turkey is also in. So if you have something tangible, you can receive up to 50,000 euros as smart funding, networking, bootcamp, everything. So this is one of our flagship program. I highly recommend if you have an MVP or a prototype. Then we have Startup Meets Pharma Healthcare Providers. Those are two programs, actually together with our German branch. This is always developed together with a pharmaceutical company. It's challenge-based, so actually we are creating challenges. If you can resonate on those challenges, then you would have the opportunity to work together directly, pharmaceutical companies and healthcare providers, not just coming from the Central Eastern Southern European region, but also from Germany. We have also the European Health Catapult. This is for scale-ups and scale-outs. It's all about recognition. So actually, if you are in a more mature stage, then we are able to give you a huge highlight and actually a spotlight in the European scene. Besides that, we are also giving you education and money. Bridgehead program, if you're about to extend your operation within Europe or outside of Europe, actually we are almost covering the whole globe. Then we're able to give you a soft landing program here. We have a global network of providers where you can start to work with. And if you have any questions further on, please turn to me. You can find our special page for startups, innostarter.eithealth.eu, and you can find my email address here on the slide. So if you have any questions later on, we will have new programs as well. So please stay tuned. And again, if you need information, just let me know, please. And again, thank you for your understanding on the time management.
Thank you for your presentation. And thanks you for being a part of this event. And now we will skipping the break because we really have a delay, and we are continuing with our my success story, and with Fazla Gıda from marketing team of Fazla Gıda. Koray is joining us right now. Hi, Koray. Welcome.
Hi, Aslı. Thank you very much.
Would you like me to show your presentation? Or
let me just try quickly if I can, then
sure.
Here we go. Okay, if it is okay, then I can just control by myself.
Yes.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, and thanks a lot for having us here. I will try to be really quick. I will summarize what Fazla Gıda does in like 5 minutes and our relationship with EIT. So Fazla Gıda means basically surplus food in Turkish. So maybe most of you are familiar with the problem. 1/3 of the food we are producing globally is wasted every year. This has unfortunately economical, social, and environmental issues like producing 8% of the total carbon emission, generating a cost of above $1 trillion each year, and maybe more importantly, almost 10% of the total global population is unfortunately struggling with hunger, where we are just throwing away 1/3 of the food that we are producing today. So looking at this picture, we need a methodology. Actually, we need a model to fight with this food waste, and it was actually found back in like 1960s, and it was called food recovery hierarchy. published by United States Environmental Protection Agency. So this hierarchy basically has like 5-6 steps where you try to stay at the very top step as much as possible. If you cannot stay there, then you go one step down and you are trying to use the food at that step. I will come back to this later. But again, coming back to Fazla Gıda is actually a technology-based social startup which is trying to fight with the food waste and also the carbon emission born from the food waste generated. So we are established in 2016 with the mission to halve the carbon emission caused by the food waste. And we are, of course, working in parallel with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And our main focus here is that the 12th one, responsible consumption and production, where we are focusing on the food loss and waste section. So as mentioned, we are a technology-based company. We are just developing technology-based solutions, and we are just have created a partner ecosystem. And with these technology-based solutions and the partner ecosystem, we are providing the highest economical, social, and environmental value for the surplus products of the customers. We call them our partners, actually, in our system. And the food recovery hierarchy that I have shown to you is at the heart of our business model. And depending on this model, we are also offering holistic waste management solutions. So there are actually two keywords that I am underlining. The first one is technology-based and the second one is holistic. So let's have a quick look at those, what they mean. So first of all, technology-based, we are actually running our operations thanks to the technology, thanks to the digital infrastructure that we are developing, because otherwise you cannot deal with surplus food. First of all, operational speed is very crucial, because a food that you can donate today cannot be donated tomorrow. So therefore, you need to, first of all, identify the food according to its condition and how you can evaluate this food very quickly. And only technology-based solutions can enable that. Apart from that, using technology enables us to collect data, and this big data provides us insights to our partners, how they produce, how they purchase, how they sell. And we are trying to reduce their waste generation, first of all. Apart from that, when you are using a digital infrastructure, then you are offering a completely transparent and traceable, with all the documents, etc., solution to your partners in the system, which is the case by us. And also, apart from that, we are also developing some other technologies like IoT products, like e-commerce platforms or mobile applications in-house. By the way, we have a technology team within Fazla Gıda, and these are also bringing some new perspective to waste reduction in especially B2B sector. The second keyword is holistic. So this is important. As I have talked to you, food recovery hierarchy is the main methodology that we are applying to waste reduction. If you are not covering all the steps of this hierarchy, then some of the surplus products that are generated are being missed. So therefore, we are just offering a holistic solution. If you look at the stages of the hierarchy, we have the source reduction, we have donation, feeding hungry people, feeding animals, and industrial usage like biogas or composting, etc. These all are covered by Fazla Gıda solutions. No matter in which condition the surplus product of our partners are, we can offer a proper solution and a proprietary solution for their products with the highest economical value. So our products have a wide range, actually. We are just, providing some different solutions for reduction at source step. These include data analytics, our secondary sales marketplace, which is a liquidation platform. We call it Fazla Gıda Market. We have a smart scale system for HoReCa sector, and we have Fazla mobile application for the consumers. Apart from that, we are running donation operations across Turkey, and we are cooperating with over 100 food banks in more than 40 cities of Turkey. If the food is not suitable for human consumption anymore, then we can just use this food for animal feed production. If not, then we can also run for biogas conversion or composting. So very shortly, I have already run out of time. Yeah.
Yes,
I can
yes.
Okay, maybe the last slide. Then with EIT, let me come directly to that part. Our journey with EIT was that we are very proud that we were the first startup from Turkey in the Rising Food Stars program in 2019. Sorry, we have so far attended several conferences and also the annual event in Budapest, and we've seen that these are leading to new network connections for us, which are very valuable, because right now we are looking forward to become a key partner of EIT Food, especially because we will expand to other markets apart from Turkey, and we believe that we will create a sustainable food ecosystem with the support of EIT Food. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Teşekkürler Koray. Thank you for joining us. Yes.
Stop sharing. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Now we continue with our second My Story with EIT session. And CEO of Akton, Çağrı Selçuklu, will join us now. Hi, Çağrı.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Aslı, for having me.
Thank you for joining. You can just share your screen.
Of course. Well, I decided not to share anything on the screen, rather focusing on the process and telling you the story. For the next 6 minutes, I'm going to use the first 2 minutes to tell you a little bit about our company. The second 2 minutes, I'm going to talk about what EIT Energy Partnership provided us along the journey, and then at the end I'm going to spend around 1 or 2 minutes on the benefits, so that people who would like to follow us can have a vision on what the partnership is going to look like for them. About the company, it was the Q4 2019, when we were just 3 people, a tiny 3D printed part because of our hardware side of the business, and an idea with a presentation. But nothing else. It was a very early stage when we met with the EIT Turkey team, with their guests from the EIT Energy Europe team. And we were just in one room trying to make something happen. And in that meeting, they described us what EIT Energy does, and it was very much fitting for us on that early stage. And then we prepared ourselves for the next couple of months, and then met again in 2020 Q1. And then since then, we've been together. Duct started, as I said, in the end of 2019. We did not have a micromobility operator in Turkey back then, but our idea was that any form of mobility is enabled by the help of infrastructure, meaning that if you do not have the definition of going from A to B, it doesn't matter if you have a vehicle, right? So you need to make it enabled. And that's why we decided to define the first USB standard charging infrastructure for micromobility. That's how the journey started. Today, after 2 years, a pandemic, global logistic crisis, we reached, I think as of today, we have 25,000 daily usage of our stations across the world. The company got acquired in the start of this year by a Californian company. Now we're working together with them, delivering full spec micromobility solutions, both in hardware and software, both in product and services. And our vehicles completed around 10 million rides. And now we are closing our Series B round and looking to become a public traded company by the end of 2023. So things are going very fast. That's going to be a total of 3 years from nothing to a public company, and creating more than 30 jobs across the world, having companies in France, in Ireland, in Estonia, in Turkey, in US, and clients from Iceland to Mallorca. We are very proud of the results. But I'm not going to present the products of the company or the capabilities right now. I just wanted to give you a little bit of the understanding of the speed of things and then where we reached right now. And I think these kind of KPIs prove the success of the business and where this is going to go from this point forward. Moving on to the second part, the EIT process. In 2020, when we were in the early stage, it has been a great benefit for us as a startup to work with EIT in the early stage. Why? Because EIT is, I believe, a very good bridge between the traditional VCs and the corporates, meaning that it has the corporate structure, but it has the ambitions of a VC, which means that there is a lot of structures inside to teach to the startups when they come in terms of how the company structure in the early stage is going to be. And I remember this is the part that I suggest all the companies to be in contact with EIT in their early stages, because it is a long process of paperwork, but it is worth it, because looking back to 2 years ago, doing these kind of things with EIT, moving through all the processes, including psychological tests to be onboarded, it was very much worth it, and it did shape us up. An example, I do have a contact person in EIT that I started weekly meetings, an hour meeting a week, not only to tell them what we're doing, but also like to have a consultant continuously about whatever topics that you might have in developing your projects. That means I think we spend around 800 hours of support only on that topic. And this is very valuable for anybody in the early stage. I'm talking to you startups, if you're out there. I think this is the thing that you want, because for the early stage startup, there's 3 resources: the man, the time, and the money. And EIT in the early stage provides all of them. Another good example of moving on to the benefits, another good example is the EIT network. All of a sudden, you end up having business development contacts that are willing to support you, that are willing to look for business opportunities for your company all across the world. I remember seeing the presentations today with the maps. There are people in all of those countries that are waiting for your contact when you're a partner to understand what you're doing, find the people that you want to work with, and then create business opportunities for your company. It is very important. As I said, one of the resources are the people. You all of a sudden have 50, 60, 70 people working for your company that you didn't hire, but has the same motivation with your co-founders or with your early employees. This is also working not only on partnerships or business development, but it is also working in your investment rounds, because including the Turkey team and the Europe team has been great support on reaching out to the VCs that we wanted to talk to. Putting together investment rounds was much, much easier, because EIT in energy investment or any other EIT investment in your company is a due diligence. Because as I said, there is a lot of paperwork and processes to pass. But if you do pass that and get the EIT investment, it means for the other investors that this startup means something and means business, because it is not easy to pass that stage. But if you do, it is a good due diligence. And then the EIT network that is connected to all the VCs all around the world kind of opens up to you. And it's a good first step for any type of introduction to VCs. The events have been amazing support for us, because EIT is going around the world once a year with the Business Booster event. Several weeks ago, we were in Portugal, meeting with all the main sponsors and shareholders of EIT, the other startups, so we can exchange ideas of the market, of the supply chain, all the way to the business development opportunities inside that network. And these are all paid for. It is the second source that I mentioned, money. These things are sometimes services that you cannot get with any type of any amount of money. I think those are extremely valuable as well. In terms of approach, I would strongly suggest that in your early stage, regardless of if you're ready or not, find these people that you met today and then contact them and then tell them what you're trying to do. And I am sure there is going to be a tool, a system, a person that is going to be interested in showing you the next step. and then follow those steps. And I'm sure that if you mean business, they will come in on board in one way or another, and then will support you along the way. And that's exactly what happened with us. I'm very happy that we had the exit in different type of definition this year. EIT also played a huge step on that in terms of marketing studies together, PR studies together, and also the legal studies together, which is also an extremely important aspect of managing a startup. So all in all, I think the long story short is EIT in energy investment in the early stage has been a building brick for the success that we reached today. Thank you for the time, Aslı. And I think you guys have my contact numbers. If any startup reaches out to ask any follow-up questions or get some type of highlights on our experience to move forward with EIT, I would be happy to help.
Teşekkürler Çağrı. We will share your email address if it's okay.
Yeah, of course.
People can reach out to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye. Now we continue with what is EIT Jumpstarter session. Dora had some technical issues, so we just changed the sessions. And for the EIT Jumpstarter session, cross-kick strategic regional innovations at EIT Health. Dora Marosh-Volci is joining us now.
Merhaba Ashley. Merhaba everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, thank you for joining. Let me share your slides and we can start when you're ready.
Okay, thank you very much. I have to say that I really enjoyed the last two presentations from the startup perspective because it's always very nice to hear how we helped the startups, especially to make the first steps in their startup journey. And this is what we are doing in the Jumpstarter as well. Here we support scientists and researchers to check if their scientific idea or project they are working on for years, if they have real potential, business potential on the market. So this is what the Jumpstarter is all about. I am Dora. I am the director of strategic regional innovations. It is a cross-kick initiative. It means that all the kicks are participating in the initiative that you have been listening to today. And this program, the Jumpstarter, is our flagship program. So it is general business skills development training for 6 industries. If we can move to the next slide, please. Thank you. And we work with the healthcare, the agri-food business, raw materials, energy, urban mobility, and manufacturing ideas. And also we have a 7th category, which is called New European Bauhaus. Here we work with those idea holders who are creating like an urban spaces for better city life or for more sustainable and more inclusive spaces. From next year on, we will have 2 new categories. One will be the digital. So here we will focus on edutech, fintech, insurance tech ideas, cybersecurity ideas, those which are complementary to the fields that we are focusing on. And also we will open up a new category for the benefit of gathering ideas for the rebuilding of Ukraine. We've been running this program since 6 years, and we trained more than 500 European idea holders from the deep tech domains. And it is very important because they have a bit different needs in the technology-based fields that we are active in. And I'm so proud of the teams that around 10% launched their startup during the program. So last year, we supported the creation of 25 new startups. We also have a group of mentors, expert mentors, who are coming from the domains that we represent, and they are coming from our industrial partners or university partners of the KICS. Thank you. So how the Jumpstarter was born. So basically, in 2017, we were looking at our ecosystem. So we are active in emerging Europe from the central eastern part of Europe, including the southern part of Europe. So those which have the potential to innovate, we have the talent pool. However, there are not so many startups on the market as compared to our Western peers. Therefore, we created the Jumpstarter program exactly to fit the needs for innovators coming out of the regions. And we focus on very much on this entrepreneurial mindset change and to showcase startup examples from our portfolio in order to support the teams and the scientists have an understanding of what it takes to run a deep tech business. And in the past years, it has become a very powerful collaboration of the EIT communities and our networks. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the main core of our methodology is validation. So teams come in with their idea. They usually are very strong from the technological point of view, but they have no or little knowledge about the business side of the idea. So throughout the trainings, we support them to find the best fitting business model and build their business model around their project. So we talk with them about what do they do, what could be the price on the market, what could be the main customer, the target market that they enter into, how the competition looks like in their market, and what are the financial side of the idea, also from the perspective of the profit that they can reach, but also what are the costs, because they are not necessarily familiar with all the cost items that they will incur. But this is only on paper so far. And by the end of the boot camps, they have a specific understanding of a model. And then they need to validate. And it is very, very scary. But they are not alone in this journey because we support them. We introduce them to our industrial partners or university partners or research organizations or the test labs, test farms from our network. And they can validate those assumptions that we build together in the business modeling. If we can move forward. Here you can see a bit of more details about the program elements. We are really focusing on the core business aspects, which you can see with blue, like the deal, the market segmentation, the impact, the team, the customer value proposition, and the competitive advantage. But we also share information and some knowledge about complementary skills, as we call them. So these are the skills that these early stage teams find valuable. They are interested in learning those. However, it is not the core in that stage that they are in. So we share some basics. Sorry for the disruption. So we share some basics with them during the modeling, and then we support them with the validation. If we can move on, please. Thank you. Here you can see a typical EIT Jumpstarter journey. So we start with online bootcamps. If you are interested in joining the program, then watch out for a call for proposal that we usually launch in the beginning of the year. We select the participants based on the geographical criteria, based on the innovativeness of their idea and also the thematic focus. We invite the best ones to online bootcamps. So here they are put together in international groups. They meet their peers. They meet their peers from other industries as well. And they also meet expert mentors. At the end of the bootcamp, they create their very first pitch deck that they show in a demo day. And we select the best ones and invite them to local joint trainings. So these are those trainings that happen in 12 locations across Europe. Actually, we are just finishing up with this year's local joint trainings. And here they meet the local ecosystem through our local trainers, and they get introduced to local incubators, local accelerators, who can be good allies for making their next steps. Out of the local trainings, they here focus also on validation and the business plan. And at the end, they create their very first business plan. And those ones who are committed, who see potential in their startup, and who have some interest coming out of this validation process, we encourage them to create their startup, and we also support them in do so. And those ones, the most committed, the best ones, are invited to join us on the grand final contest, which is the final pitching contest of the Jumpstarter, with the first prize of 10,000 euros. If we can move on. It is also important to mention that EIT Jumpstarter is just the beginning. It's not the end of the journey. If we can move forward, thank you. So after the EIT Jumpstarter, which gives you access to international experts, the validation and creation of the business model, we try to hold the hands of the most committed and the best startups coming out of the program and show them the next step in the KIC accelerator programs, EIT Thematic accelerator programs. These are very selective and competitive programs, typically open for all Europe. However, what they provide the startups with is like typical exposure to international investors, potential investment opportunities in some cases like pre-seed, seed investment, and connection with partners. There are cases when the Jumpstarters are a bit still early stage to enter these thematic accelerator programs. And it is completely okay because they are working on a tech idea and they need a bit more support from the locals. And we are working on strengthening these ties with the local accelerator programs. They can provide them with knowledge and access to the local market, and also in many cases, access to pre-seed funding, or at least connection to investors who have this pre-seed funding. And coming out of the local accelerator programs, the teams can still apply to the thematic EIT accelerator programs. And when they need the next step, like the next step of investment, or they really want to grow big, they are validated on the market, they have their first customers, some traction, then we support them to get bit bigger tickets. for example, in terms of EIC grants, so that's the European Innovation Council, or there are some funds, there will be some funds backed by the European Investment Fund. So this is just to have a vision of where the Jumpstarters could get. If you can move forward.
Yes, also we are almost out of time. If you can like briefly complete in 30
Yes.
seconds, really great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. There is one very important thing that I don't want to miss. And it is like we have many successful startups in our portfolio, in our alumni pool. If we can go further, that I would like to underline that we already have. Can we skip to the next slide, please? Thank you. That we already have many promising startups coming from Turkey. So far, since 2020, we trained 44 innovative teams from Turkey. And here you can see a list of startups that have been created in the different categories during the Jumpstarter program, and out of which Surface AI, they were the second prize winner last year in the manufacturing category. So they provide intelligent surface inspection solutions for manufacturing industries. And of course, we all cheer for the success of these startups. So if you want to be the next Jumpstarter, maybe we can skip this part. Yes, the how can I get in? This is something I don't want to miss. So first of all, if you play around with this idea of becoming an entrepreneur, come to the grand final and get inspired by the pitches of the fellow startups. Mark your calendar. We will have it on the 29th of November. If you follow EIT Jumpstarter on the web, eitjumpstarter.eu, or on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, we will quite soon publish there the registration for the grand final. So you will meet there the finalists from this year, and you can get inspired. Where did they get within the 6 months of training in the Jumpstarter? Then you should also check your eligibility for the competition. If you take a quick look at the map and you find your country, if in case you're joining elsewhere from Turkey, just take a look. And if the country you are coming from is with blue, then you are eligible. If your business idea fits into one of the thematic fields, like health, food, raw materials, energy, manufacturing, urban mobility, you are also eligible. If you have your company registered and you want to work on that idea, then you should take a look at the EIT Thematic Accelerator programs. So that was the tricky question. So thank you so much for this. Ashley, please share the slides with whoever are interested in receiving it.
Of course, Kesenem, Sipa, and Dora. And Piotr would like to say something. Hi, Piotr.
Hi, I was listening all the time to these presentations, which are really very interesting for me. As you can see, I'm sitting here in Krakow, and right now skies were obscured by clouds, and right now, as you can see, I'm enlightened, I would say, with sun coming out of the clouds. So, well, you may consider it a sign, the light is coming to Turkey through this event. That's maybe a little bit of joke, but I want to apologize all of you for having a delay, but I'm also quite convinced that these presentations are really important and that they bring a lot of some insights for you. So we are just closing the project with our last part, which is just a panel discussion. I think thanking you for staying so long. I also encourage you to stay a bit longer, maybe not that long, to see some interesting points. And if you have any questions during the discussion, you are free to ask your questions in the YouTube channel, so that we will try to answer them as they appear. So thank you, Ashley, for letting me in.
Thank you, Piotr. Thank you, Dora. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Thank you.
As Piotr mentioned, we are moving to our last session, and which is a panel actually. It is future role of EIT in the development of innovation ecosystem in Turkey. And for this session, we have a moderator, Selen Ünal. She is the advisor of EIT Energy Hub Turkey. And we also have 3 guests, and actually you met all of them. EIT from EIT, Luke Inkarbaha, Piotr Tavalets from EIT Energy CEE, and Frujina Chonka again from EIT Energy CEE. Welcome all.
Hello, Aslan. Thank you.
Yes, Elena, giving it to you. So thank you.
Okay, let's start. So hello, everybody, and welcome to our panel discussion. Asta already mentioned the name of the discussion, but I will repeat it. Today we will discuss the future role of EIT, the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, in the development of the innovation ecosystem in Turkey, and especially in energy. Turkey's energy market is quite dynamic and has been growing with the introduction of new regulations and new amendments, especially in renewable energy, energy storage, and e-mobility. Moreover, during the Business Booster event in Lisbon less than a month ago, we were very happy to see the increasing interest from Turkish companies and investors. So we will discuss very interesting things in this panel. Aslı have already introduced all of us, so I want to redo it. Let's start with Piotr. Your work especially focused on strategy. Where do you see the key relation between the Turkish industry and the vision of the organization you represent?
Okay, just a second. Well, this is, thank you for the question. It is really, for us, the Turkish market is really important one. We are here for several years already, and there is a lot of interest from Turkish industry, startups, scale-ups, and the amount of innovation that we observe is really impressive. I think that Fruji, who just joined us, can tell more about it. So Fruji, to you.
Thank you, Piotr. It's a very good question. Thank you, Selen. I think that one of the key things where we see the connection and the relation is practically the industrial transformation. What Hanifa was also talking about, again, decarbonization when it comes to manufacturing in Turkey, when it comes to automotive, when it comes to heavy industry. All those strategic priorities are the priorities which we're focusing on, where we are trying to find the right collaborations and consortia projects which we can invest into. We can bring in the right international and also foreign entities. In many cases, what we see is that when certain, let's say, local stakeholders come together in a consortia, but they're still looking for and scoping the international landscape for the right technologies to be scouted. And that's when we can have a quite tangible role. And I think that Turkey is pretty much a focal point in this in the last few years. And another thing which I take as a huge, let's say, interest point is the regulatory changes. As Turkey is extremely close to the European approach when it comes to decarbonization, when it comes to digitalization, and even in the DSO framework and industry, we see the changes when it comes to inspection technologies, the expectations for safety, security, And all those things are the common lines where we find the middle ground to bring technologies and to collaborate in Turkey.
Thank you very much to both. Actually, Fuji, you have been closely following the Turkish market for a long time, and you have been already in contact with many companies from Turkey. Actually, I was planning to ask you also the main strength or strengths of the innovation system of Turkey, but I guess you have already replied those questions. So I now pass to Luc, and I have a question regarding innovation. As you may know, I mean, the audience may know, the EIT has built Europe's largest innovation ecosystem with the aim of the most pressing global challenges facing our societies. Luc, from your perspective, what are the top 2 priorities on a global scale when it comes to innovation and how they relate to the Turkish market?
Thank you, Selena. Well, it's a bit hard to actually highlight which are the 2 most important points, you see, because as a result of the fact that most of our society challenges are very closely interlinked. For example, we are talking about energy right now, but energy is very closely interlinked with climate change. Climate change is very much interlinked with urban mobility. Urban mobility is very much linked with manufacturing. Manufacturing is very closely linked with raw materials, and so on and so forth. So in reality, I believe we are taking a very holistic approach to the delivery of innovation. For us, the most important thing is not which are the more important innovations, but rather how can we work together in order to deliver innovations which would benefit the life of our citizens. And this holds very much true for Turkey as well. We are aware of the specificities of Turkey. Actually, some of those specificities are also shared by a number of EU member states and Horizon Europe associated countries. So I would refrain, if you would permit me, from answering which are precisely the 2, but rather commit as an EIT community, all of us, all KICs, to work closely with you, with the Turkish authorities, with the Turkish innovation ecosystem, to deliver on innovations which will make the biggest impact to you, your citizens, your families, and your future lives.
Okay, thank you very much. And now also comes the expected question from the entrepreneur's point of view. Actually, I would like to have each of yours opinion regarding the question respectively. If I'm an entrepreneur, a startup or a scale-up or a largest industrial spin-on, what could be the benefit of our collaboration? So Piotr, maybe you may start.
Thank you. Yes, that's a very valid question. So first of all, I think that what is behind us with EIT and with energy is a large background of possibilities to we can support not only with money, because I think money is secondary. Of course, it's important for the startups at the very beginning and also in the later stages, but it is not the most important factor. The most important factor that we offer is our chain of is the value chain that we have. It's these are our network of contacts. This is our consultancy, our advice, and our experience in the market of innovation. So this is what we can bring about. So these connections, these networks, this experience is the most important factor that can be given to the one who wants to join us. I think Fuji can further elaborate on this.
I think you already pointed out the key thing, because money can be found in many places, but actually also Chari, a couple of minutes ago, I think that pretty much gave us a good oversight of what has happened in their life as DACT and then Acton, and what we've been doing, spending hundreds of hours working with them, understanding what that company, that group of entrepreneurs, and the market which they are aiming to or will be or already operating at is about, who is needed, what is needed, what shape and form the business model is supposed to look like, who could be the customer, what network we need to integrate and introduce that technology provider to. So yes, I think that the most important thing is to find an investor, find a partner who really understands what you do, what you want to do, will be on the same strategic wavelength with you approach-wise, and then have the network and the approach to work really closely together to deliver where we both, in that case, then want to be. And that's what we try to do and give the companies who we decide to work with. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you are leading a company, or if you're leading a part of a spin-off team, and you already, it's still early stage, but you already know where you're heading and what do you need. Again, as Chari very nicely described his plans and his history, then hit us up, send us an email, get in touch, because we will look at it whether we can find a common future, whether we have a common vision.
Thank you, Fruji. And Luke, would you like to add something?
Yes, well, I fully agree with Piotr in the sense that all the startups have highlighted that the main added value of the EIT is our network. You mentioned in the previous question you asked me that the EIT is now Europe, if not the world's largest innovation network, with well over 3,000 partners. As an entrepreneur, you can find nearly anything you want within this network, whether it is partners to continue to grow your business, clients, markets, venture capital, introduction to internationalization opportunities, and so on and so forth. And another element which I think is critical is that you can do all this in a way within the comfort of your home. The EIT battles brain drain. The EIT allows you to access the entire network the EIT has to offer while you stay within the country where you are currently operating from. And I think this really is where the real value of the EIT lies. We are, when you looked at in the beginning, it was presented how Horizon Europe has 100 billion and the EIT has about, 100 billion, right? And the EIT has about 3% of that, about 3 billion. That's not much within the grand scheme of things, but what we offer is so much more than money. As Frugina very well explained, you can go to other sources for money. But I think what the EIT has to offer, there is really nothing like it right now, definitely in Europe and possibly across the globe.
Thank you to all. Actually, we all see that it's a huge topic and there are many opportunities for all the stakeholders of the entrepreneurship ecosystem. However, as Krishna mentioned, people, the audience may further contact us, send us emails, and of course, we may discuss further with them. And for now, I thank you all, and I pass the floor back to Aslı for the closing remarks. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Selen Hanım, for the moderating, and it was a great session. And now I would like to thank everyone for joining us and also being a part of this event, and our speakers, participants. And I want to leave the floor to you, Piotr, for closing. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Ashley. So first of all, the online formula of event is very specific. We cannot meet face to face, which is a kind of obstacle because it's different when we meet in person, when we can talk during the breaks, and well. Anyway, on the other hand, it's an opportunity to meet maybe larger audience and from different places, which wouldn't be possible without this online connection. So to all of you, thank you very much for being with us. I think that we had made it very clear that Turkish market is a very important one, not only because these are just words. This is followed by all the things that happen on the market. You have seen the testimonials of 2 startups, and there are a lot more We know it, and we are encouraging all of you to join us, to come to us, and we can really help you. We know there is a lot of innovative ideas. There are a lot of interesting companies who already developed their innovations. So please do not hesitate. The EIT's ecosystem is large, and I think that by now you already know that we offer much more than usual, let's say, VCs who just offer money. We offer the value that goes far beyond the money. Thanking you all for being with us for this hour. These hours. I also want to thank all the presenters for being with us, for explaining how from their perspective these elements of this entire puzzle fit together. And on the other hand, I want to also thank the organizers, so our Hub Turkey, especially Ashley and Bashar, for keeping it all the way working. Anyway, you have contacts to us. You have contacts to Ashley and Bashar, who are here in Turkey. So in any case, you can contact them, and they will guide you all the way to other places if needed. Thank you very much, and see you soon, hopefully.